All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. I know I skipped cards and coffee for the crew. Celeste the Silver Cord here. I'm going to be doing a big special for you guys. With the 4-day weekend coming up, I got a lot going on. So, yeah, I'm doing a very small family thing tomorrow, but my kids are going to their dad's family. And I have a ton of projects I need to get done, so I probably will not be on most of this weekend. So, anybody won't get worried when I'm not on. I'm just going to be working on a lot of stuff. Plus, I have the Zen Den on Saturday. Plus, I have a bunch more of these little guys that I need to paint and glaze and get ready and everything else for all the winter stuff going on. So, I wanted to do a big message for everybody for this big weekend coming up. Now, I pulled a rune this morning for everybody, and I used the Witch's Rune set. Rob uses a different kind. So, I pulled the Witch's Rune today, and I got flight. And that really got me thinking about a lot of symbolisms for flight, but usually it is very air sign too. So it's a lot of thoughts, a lot of words, a lot of emotions in those areas, and a lot to do with how we communicate with each other, right? So I did a love language quiz this morning. This is kind of like my channeled message that I got for everybody this morning while I was dealing with this rune. And I ended up doing I heard about the 5 love languages, and I ended up going ahead and taking the quiz. And I thought it was really interesting because it came out from me that my main love language is acts of service. And I was like, all right, well, that makes sense. Definitely, I appreciate when people help me or when people do things for me, especially if I don't have to ask for it. It means the world to me. It's definitely one of the languages Rob speaks best. But now, that is the language that I respond to the best. It's not the language I speak, because you want to speak your partner's language, right? So Rob's love language, where he feels loved, isn't necessarily through acts of acts of service. His is more of a touch thing. He likes to be touched, hugged, held, kissed, all that other. It's more sensual. So that's physical touch, because there's 5 different types. So there's words of affirmation, physical touch, receiving gifts, quality time, and acts of service. So everybody has one that they respond to the best. There's people who need words of affirmation all the time. There's people who need physical touch to feel loved. There's people who need to be given trinkets to feel loved. There's people who need quality time. They need a lot of time with their partners to feel loved. And there's those who need acts of service. And there's also ways that people speak that, right? So I just really wanted to put that out there while we're going into the holiday season. We're going to be dealing with all different types of family members and people and things of that nature, that no matter how you're doing it, whether you're actually getting together or you're doing something virtual or something like that, really take some time to look at all your family members around you and learn what they respond best to and what language they speak best, because the language that they're speaking to you, that's how they show love. It might not be your love language, but it's their love language, and that's how they keep saying they love you so much, is by doing things for you, if that's acts of service, or constantly wanting to touch you, if that's what they. So really look at those dynamics while you're going into your holiday weekend. And then I think that'll really help everybody break these cycles of focusing on everybody's toxic aspects, and really look into where people are speaking their love languages and what people need to be spoken to in their love language, right? If you see somebody's having a down time, take a moment, really think about what it is that they respond best to, and then go with that. I know my voice is a little deep today. The dogs got loose, so I was yelling a lot yesterday. I did my best. All right. So we're going to go ahead and just do all the signs now. That was the collective message for everybody. And I guess I'll go ahead and do the 3D 45E lines since everybody responded so well to that. And this is, I'm trying to do a big special because, like I said, I'm going to take the next 4 days off. Also, in December, I will be taking a vacation as of right now. You never know with the world today. But my main plans are, yes, I am going to be going to the middle of nowhere in Illinois for a week to go see family. And I do not plan on posting anything while I'm out that week. I am going to try to get everybody's Wheel of the Year for 2021 done. If you don't know what those are, check out your 2020s. I have a playlist set up on here of everybody's Wheel of the Year. For 2019 and for 2020. All right, I like to pre-shuffle those because they give me, these are for Aries. All right, Aries, here we go. What are we dealing with this 4-day weekend? I will say you're starting out with your shadow card right now being peaceful among the thorns and your earth magic card being invocation. So we have a terrible, terrible reputation for our mouths and firing the gun and asking questions later. So we've really spent the last 2 years trying to break that dynamic. If you're somebody who's been working, genuinely doing the work. So a lot of us have been peaceful among the thorns, but you got to be mindful that in being peaceful among the thorns that you are not caving, because unfortunately what happens is to keep the peace, you start caving, and then caving becomes a habit of caving, and that becomes an expected thing. So this is really telling you to invoke your own power and listen to your instincts. Yes, of course, if you're going to be in a big family setting, you do not want to be the person that's rocking the boat. But at the same time, if somebody else is rocking the boat for everyone, Aries, that's always been our MO, is to, help. So that goes into that whole love language thing that we were talking about before too, right? So yeah, if you see somebody having a hard time, maybe try to find a way, instead of attacking the person that's giving them a hard time, find a way to speak to that person in their love language to ease that situation. So that way you're still an active member instead of just peacefully watching bad things happen. You can still be taking active steps towards helping somebody without rocking the boat, without being, without being the atypical Aries, right? The objective of working with learning your signs is not to give you an excuse for your shitty behavior. It's supposed to be so you recognize what it is, work on it, flip it, and change your dynamics, right? The whole point is you want to change your world. You don't want to get everybody to just deal with you. You want to you want something different. You got to change yourself too, right? Right. All right, so here we go. We got the Queen of Swords, 2 of Swords, 3 of Rods, Joker cards, and 3 of Pentacles. So I do see you coming into a really good weekend. You've been really thoughtful and perceptive. Really feel like you've been watching your words. You've been making really mindful choices about watching your words. You see the direction you want to go in and the team you want to build, the people you can have fun with, play games with, and a really solid team for building foundations towards, in the 3D line there. Remember, 3D, 4D, 5D is how I read. All right, so what's in between? The thoughts and emotions and things of that nature in between there. I do see the 9 of Swords with the 3 of Wands here. So it's like you do see the where you want to go, but it's like anytime you see a solid path lay out before you, it always does come with a little bit of anxiety. And usually the anxiety, the breakthrough is seeing a new way of juggling the path. I do see you coming into a lot of gain here in the middle card. Really seeing what direction you're going into and moving into it with the swiftness and not letting other people lower your vibes anymore. This is awesome 4D line there for you. All right. So 5D got for you guys. You have the 6 of Pentacles, generosity. I see you really taking a lot of messages and lessons that you've learned to heart and really working on finding ways to be generous. And like I said, using all the love languages there. I see the Fool card here, leaps of faith. 5. See, now this 5 of Swords, people are always like, oh, it's conflict, it's strike. And usually it is, but this is the end of it. It's like what? There's been a bunch of battles. And now it's the end of it. Now it's time to move on from it. Now is a time for peace, right? I see you really activating that through your thoughts and words and keeping a really strong focus on maintaining that and ending this conflict cycle. Awesome, Aries. Awesome, Aries. I feel like that really old actress right now. Which 4 days off will probably greatly help with that too. All right. Taurus. All right, Taurus, we got for the beginning here, I got the child I was meant to be and the new moon promise. So it's really focusing in on who did you want to be before the world told you who you were supposed to be? Who were you before you picked up all that childhood programming? Who were you before you got jaded? Who were you before you got hurt? Who were you, before? And like I just told Aries, who were you before you started discovering who you were? Regardless of what your sign is, the objective is always to overcome the negative aspects of your sign, but it is also to embrace the positive aspects of your sign. And the new moon promises, what did you promise yourself? The new moon promise card is always about, it's not about the promises you make to other people. What did you promise yourself? Are you keeping promises to yourself? With it right next to the child you were meant to be. I think it's really calling to what were some virtues that you promised yourself when you were young that you really need to look back on. Because maybe you let go of some good programming at one point. Remember always 3D, 4D, 5D. 3D be the general energies around you in the physical 3D areas. 4D is going to be just kind of where everybody's thoughts and emotions are around the situation, those in your collective web. 5D, what is the overall messages from the 5D trying to tell us? About the corresponding timelines here. All right. I'm seeing that for some reason, looking back on the past, really balances everybody's cups. causes a lot of worry and strife, and it causes a lot of feeling very overtaxed, overburdened, and very defensive. I feel a very defensive energy. Yeah, definitely. King of Cups reversed, 5 Pentacles, 9 of Rods reversed. It's like whenever the past is brought up, unstable emotions, worry, and defensive mode. I do see a lot of grounding is needed here with the Ace of Pentacles. All right. When someone brings up the past, you need to really ground it, not ignore it, not deny it, not approve it or anything else like that. Just ground yourself. Okay. Ground yourself and don't try not to fight about it. Because I've noticed a lot of things with a lot of these timeline shifts, and what's been going on is a lot of people remember things differently, even within family groups. I've noticed that a lot, especially like in any groups that have been clearing a lot of toxic family karmic DNA stuff that's been going on. People will get together, and one of the main conflicts that arise in those situations is people bring up the past, and everybody has a different memory of the same event. Is it trippy? Yes. Is it happening a lot? All the time in a lot of families. Okay? On the 40 line, I see the Lovers reversed, but a lot of passion, but there's still a disconnect on the 40 line, on the 40 level. Right? A change needs to be made, a change in mindset for sure on what's going on. And it is calling you to really ground a lot of that energy into working on works, actions. Words say a lot, but actions say more. So I'm saying this is doing really a lot of, works and actions on things to resolve those issues. Like instead of fighting over past memories, create new ones. What does the 5D line got to say about this? The 5D is telling you definitely that you are coming into your power. You just really need to manage your words, be quick thinking, be perceptive. Be mindful not to overindulge and miss out on opportunities that are being offered to you, right? I do see 3 of Swords situation, third-party situations. Remember, I say third-party situations doesn't necessarily mean you're dealing with the cheater. Not everybody's dealing with this. It's like I said, holiday readings. This is family dynamics, people sticking their nose in other people's business, getting in each other's ways, things not working out the way you wanted them to, blaming it on another person, a lot of focusing on the spilt cups and ignoring the 2 of Cups connections behind you, right? You're worried about the 3 spilt cups with the 3 of Swords card, and you're forgetting that you do still have plenty of 2 of Cups love connections around you. All right, Gemini. Brian the Cage, Wolf Instinct. All right, so I'm definitely taking this as you're recognizing areas where you're trapped in certain dynamics with people that are around you, right? Brian the Cage, the bride's kind of like on the pedestal, right? But her heart's not really in it. And the wolf instincts is just being called and pulled in different directions and trying to follow your instincts, and that you should follow your instincts. Brian the Cage talks about those timelines where essentially like Runaway Bride, where you, as soon as you see that there's no backing out, you've made too many promises, there's been too many plans laid out, there's been venues planned and invitations set out and everything else, and the more stress is coming from the situations around you, the more you're realizing that you're not even sure if this is the kind of partner you want to deal with all this kind of stress with. If they can't even handle getting through the wedding part of it without you losing interest and second guessing everything, then how are you going to get through? And that your instincts are really calling on you to really pay attention to why you are walking certain paths. Why are you making certain decisions? Are you making them for you, or are you people pleasing at this point? Do you really want to make a change, or do you want to continue on with these plans? Apologize, Gemini. I'm live right now. People seem to forget that I have a life. Didn't expect them to be up at 9 o'clock in the morning. Apologize for that, Gemini. Give me 1 second. All right. Speaking of bride in the cage, that'd be my baby daddy. Kids are going with him for Thanksgiving because they're going with me to Illinois for Christmas. I'm sorry, my voice sounds so growly. I thought the hot coffee would help, but it's not. It sounds absolutely terrible, don't I? Here's what it is. Probably what I sound like when I'm really old. All right, so you got the 3D, 4D, 5D. 3D, what's going on around you. 4D, what's going on in everybody's thoughts and in their minds around them. And then 5D, what's the overall message that the 5D is trying to tell you about the rest of the situations that we're reading. Right now, I see 2 of Cups reversed, 4 of Cups. Not paying attention to what cups you should be paying attention to. Probably because you're paying attention to a toxic connection here. I do see the 2 of Pentacles here. Change needs to be made. A new perspective needs to be gained. 7 of Pentacles. Working on learning to fill your own cup, grounding your energy, learning how to take care of yourself and your own needs. I love the 10 of Rods in this deck. It's the end of one cycle, the beginning of another, right? She's even holding the hourglass there. It's kind of owning your shadow for your strength, right? Those are burdens, but it's also where you find a lot of strength in those areas and learning to fill your own cup. Sometimes that's what we got to go through. But it's definitely the death of an old cycle here. I see this was a lot of moving on from the 2 of reversed. The 2 of reversed. The 2 of Cups reversed. 4D says you do have a lot of strength that you're building right now. You might still feel the tugs of those codependent strings, or be mindful not to fall back into those codependent strings. Because I do see people will be trying to pull them back onto you and trying to put them back on. But I see you really overcoming that because you got rebirth here, 8 of Swords. You're like, I'm not letting you put those strings back on you. Good job. Game stops as soon as you decide to stop fighting. For sure, for sure. All right, we got 10 of Pentacles, Justice, 8 of Swords upright, Temperance, Queen of Wands. Woo-wee! So you guys got a pretty good weekend. You got a lot of messages coming in from the divine, for sure. 10 of Pentacles. They're really trying to bring you into a very abundant energy, right? Justice is being served. I know you feel trapped, but I have a very strong feeling you know exactly where you're trapped and you know exactly when to move. And sometimes the best option is to sit still for a second. You know, you got some patience that you're working with here. But for sure, Queen of Fire is going to get you here at the end. So I see you guys really taking a positive turn this weekend. I love that for you guys. It's awesome, Gemini. Cancer. Forgetting oneself. Vulnerability. I see you being afraid to be yourself. to the point where you're pretending and forgetting yourself. In playing a role, you are losing yourself. Why? Because you're afraid to be vulnerable. If nobody knows who you really are, then they can't really hurt you, can you? I think a really strong message here, especially for the holiday weekend coming up, and what you should be thankful for and things of that nature, and who you're going to put energy into spending your energy and time with should be people that you can be vulnerable with without feeling judged and not having to wear a persona or a mask. I mean, I understand a lot of people aren't lucky enough to have the dynamics in families that, my family kind of has, where people are allowed to be fuck-ups if we're fuck-ups, right? Everybody's still just happy you showed up for dinner, even if you showed up 2 hours late. It's not like we didn't know you were going to be 2 hours late, right? You got people in your life you got to pretend to be something else with. It's not your tribe. Tribe don't make you walk on eggshells. Think of the show Friends. I actually have a lot of friends in New York that do that. They do Friendsgivings. They don't go see their families. It all depends on where you feel loved and honored at, right? All right, 3D, 4D, 5D, 3D line. I do see you've been coming into a lot of your power. You've really been taken in the direction that you wanted to be going in. You've been making a lot of solid changes, right? I do see, you could be a little bit opinionated. So if you've been on the spiritual path, you might be super opinionated right now. So I would just be mindful of that if you're trying to spend any time with a bunch of people. And you do have the 8 of Pentacles here at the end. So I see like stability and financially stuff like that around you really being powerful and you really seizing into your power. The only thing I'm saying that maybe, just be careful that you're not over opinionated. Any topics that are going to bring up toxicity, be mindful, stay away from. I always say when you're going into family events, you should never talk religion or politics in mixed company. Right? They might not be your tribe, but your family. You put in effort to mind your mouth when you need to. On the 4D line, things do look really pleasant too, right? Yeah, you have been in your power. You've really been following your stars, really been following where the universe is pulling you. I see you in a very, very powerful love energy right now on the 40 line. The only problem is you got the princess reversed here. It's really talking about mind your words, because you do have a tower coming and words can be used against you in these moments where there's things crashing, especially when it's something along the 40 line. So this is a big dynamic shift that's coming in for you, but it's going to bring justice, right? But how dramatic you want to make it is really going to depend on you. Because it's going to bring in justice, and that goes for you too, right? Goes for you too. So things that you say can be used against you will be used against you too, and you will be judged for that. As much as judgment will be received on everybody, will get justice, right? That's the difference. Not vengeance, justice. Evening out of the karmic scales there. 5D. What does the 5D have to say? The 5D says it does love you. There's a lot of passion. I don't see this so much as a deceit as because it's on the 5D line. I don't see it as a deceit. I see it as I didn't deceive you, but I needed to take space. I need to take space to make changes and to defend myself. So this is a message from the 5D line for you. Either that's you or that's someone you're dealing with. But I do see with the 2 pages here, definitely young, not young, but newish love, newish passion, but a need for space to make changes to learn how to defend oneself. Not usually stumped like that at the end of a reading, but just remember, don't forget yourself. If you're defending yourself and forgetting yourself, a lot of those connections, especially all the way up onto the 5D level, really can make you forget yourself. They can come in and totally rock your world. Don't forget yourself. You can be vulnerable and be who you are. If that connection is a genuine 5D connection, you can be genuine, be vulnerable, and be who you are. Don't pretend to be someone you're not, especially if you're connected on that higher level. All right? Universe does not respond to who you pretend to be. Responds to who you are on the inside. Leo. Artificial heart. Seeking sanctuary there. See what we got for you. The artificial heart, really, it's faking it. It's faking it. You ever hear that one country song that's like, yeah, oh, what she was drinking, I had what she was drinking, and it was a little fruity for me, but I said, yeah. And the music she was listening to, I didn't really like, but I said, yeah. And when she asked me to do that, I said, yeah. And it's like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And be mindful of people who do that to you. I hate that. I'm telling you, one of the biggest things that ended up being a problem in my first marriage was my husband didn't actually like to go fishing. He just pretended to like to go fishing while we were dating. And then after like a year or two, he was like, I don't even like doing this. And I was like, you said you did. He goes, yeah, well, I was still trying to get you then. I'm telling you. Ooh. Slid out for you. Pretending to like to do things that you don't like to do. That is a very toxic, codependent trait for sure. And I told one of the signs here a minute ago, the habit of caving becomes a habit of caving. And look, I've been there too. There's other things too that, were deal breakers for me. Like, yeah, people ask you to do things you don't want to do. Boy, Leo, or is it chatty for you? We'll see if they come back out. I got the Sun, the Star, and the 8 of Wands. Woo. What are you guys into, Leo? One more shuffle. You got the Star card down here already, too. the cave sanctuary here. And it's really calling for you to take space on your own, to work through your own things, to work on your own things, to figure out what it is you want, what did you even like to do. All right, so I got the Three of Cups here, which is like this is love, celebrating, connection. Like what brought all this in was actually a lot of fun when it first started, right? I got the Jack of Wands here, Jack of Swords, with a lot of passion, a lot of exchanging of ideas, a lot of things like that. But I got the Four of Rods reversed and then the Queen of Cups here on the end. So it's like a doorway is kind of closed or is closing. And there's a call to really learn how to ground love and reconnect yourself and take control of your own cup here, especially if you're a divine feminine. On your 40 line, we got that you really want to continue to nurture this. Like this Empress is even still the 3 over that 3 of Cups, right? Happiness, 10 of Cups. It's like a lot of passion brought you a lot of, 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups, then 10 of Cups, right? A lot of passion, right? Oh, man, yeah, 9 of Cups. Brought you in a lot of passion over that Jack of Rods, right? 10 of Cups. What, we even speak the same language and stuff like that. Then I got this overindulging energy here, right? And then the 2 of Cups is reversed at the end. I get a strong sense that there is a strong connection that you had that was really strong and passionate there for a second, but it helped you evolve, and you evolved so quickly that now you're already, it's not that you're different frequencies, it's just your paths are starting to move in slightly different directions, and you're not sure exactly where to take that. But there's definitely been a disconnect between you and someone that you used to have a lot of celebrations with. So 5D got to say about it. So remember that Devil card jumped out at the beginning. So this is about a codependent. This is about a toxic connection for sure. I got the King of Wands, Star card, like King of Fire, Star card. So it's still a lot of wanting to follow your passions, a lot of wanting to follow your stars. See a really strong sense of worry of money that is really afflicting your decisions, and stability being a main thing that you are focused on, and nostalgic. It's like, what, it was good. Can we make it good again? Because really, I like being stable. And I do like the past that we have together. I feel like this is one of those things where it's like you don't even feel like anybody did anything particularly wrong. It's just, yeah. I feel like it's hit a point now where everything seems kind of forced. And you really would just like some sanctuary from it all. All right, Leo. Whew. Guys are not making it easy on me. Virgo. Masquerade. Hiding where your passions lie. Let's see what we got for that. I mean, I really don't know what else to say about that. Masquerade. Putting on a mask, living in a world where everybody's wearing a mask, everybody's pretending. Reminds me of that scene of Titanic. I'm standing in a crowded room of people and I'm drowning and screaming at the top of my lungs and nobody even notices or looks up. And I feel like you have a lot of buried passion behind that masquerade. There we go. All right, 3D, 4D, 5D. Get your 5D line down. Go from the top to the bottom. Back from the bottom to the top. All right. I see you had a strong sense of where you were going, but I don't think you really put it in a full-on intellectual sense when you took a leap or started heading down a certain path. I do see that you were inspired and had a lot of passion for what you were doing, and you did create a good, like a celebration, a lot of fun, a lot of high vibey, fun energy around you. But I do feel now that you feel you're going into kind of a defensive area. You're right from the 3 of Cups to the 7 of Wands. So it's like, and then you got what? You get the, I don't think I was smart about this, but I was still passionate about it. So it's this weird kind of dynamic going on in the 3D where everybody's trying to have fun, but at the same time, they're a little bit defensive. You wouldn't make it easy on me, would you, Virgo? All right, what are you overthinkers worrying about, right? That's your 3D line with your masquerading passions, right? Shadow aspects, moon card, right? What is your moon sign, Virgo? Or is Virgo your moon sign, right? What shadow aspects are you working on? What are you mirroring? What are you projecting? What are you really paying attention to right now? And are you applying any of that knowledge to yourself? Remember, the moon goddess Chang'o got herself stuck on the moon, right? I do feel a strong sense of the universe is trying to pull you in a direction. You're not wanting to sit with yourself because you're trying to prevent a tower, and you're not sitting with yourself and avoiding a tower is blocking you from the King of Passion here, right? From finding that energy. And that's usually a mindset because that is on the 4D line. You don't want a certain mindset to be towered. I see a lot of joy in the past as you too strung out to walk away from it. Why would I walk away from all that good shit that did happen? It's telling you over the reverse hermit, you have the upright hangman on the 5D. So the 5D is almost holding you still right now. Like, think, dude. Not your overthinking spazzy monkey mind, but actually set yourself up into a situation space where you really are actually meditating, right? Where you're actually sitting quietly with yourself and working through what is going on. Because I don't sense that you have a whole lot of sense of direction right now, and a whole lot of, you're not nurturing yourself in your path right now, which is why you're not going to be able to see where you're going. Get out of the masquerade. A lot of the times when you do all this overthinking nonsense, you end up pretending to be someone you're not even, who's not even who you are, to see how another person would respond if you acted that way. And now you're stuck being a certain way. And I don't think you're very comfortable with that, because I think in pretending to be that certain way, you're blocking a whole lot of your passion. All right. Libras. So what we got for you? Ooh, is this me? Is this you? Is this who you are? Are you being vigilant right now? The vigilance card is not always about being defensive, right? The vigilance card talks about not just being vigilant to those who leave you feeling drained and leave you feeling crappy or have you stressed out all the time, but it's to be vigilant of those who bring you joy, of those who bring you peace, of those you have fun with. Be vigilant of them. Not for just what they do for you, but they might even need you. And who are you? Is this you? Talked about the love languages at the beginning. What is your love language? What language do you speak? What language do you respond well to? How does that work with those people that you connect with? Where can you balance each other out? They speak one language and respond to one language. You speak one language, they respond to one language. All right, 3D, 4D, 5D. So we got going on. 3D is how it appears on the 3D. 4D is how everybody's thinking about it in the 4D. 5D is what's 5D trying to tell us. Excuse me. All right, King of Wands got stuck to the table here at the top here, so I'm going to throw that in there, that you are really seeking areas of where you feel the most passion, where you see the most vision, where you see the most what you can do in your future. I don't know, my phone keeps messing up. Don't mind me, I found this thing this morning and I felt like being pink and purple today. I see there's some areas where you might have been overindulging, but you're really working on that. I see that you are really in quite an abundant area, but there's a bunch of secrets and things being hidden from everybody right now. And the secrets that are being hidden are to maintain 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles. Right? What? I'm just going to keep some things quiet. I'm not lying. I'm just not saying everything that's going on. And I'm saying that to maintain, because we have just reached a balance of, everybody's happy and the money's good. So There's no need in bringing up some of this stuff that's in the background. Really, Libra? Really? Well, that is how it all appears on the 3D. Well, let's see what the 4D has to say about that. 4D says you are avoiding conflict. There is really, really strong love connections going on here. Really strong love connections. The Lovers, Gemini, you know, that's the, yeah. Princess of Swords, though. You have the Princess of Swords and the Princess of Wands. So it's like a being torn between. I think if you speak your passion, you'll hurt people. But if you don't speak your passion, you're hurting yourself there, Libra. But I do see that the reason that you're like this right now is you're defending yourself. I do see that you may have been being even harsh with your words with people because because of the things that you keep secret, things of that nature, actually do kind of make you angry at the pit of your stomach. Like if you have whatever it is, you know, connections with other people or things of that nature, whatever it is that you're keeping secret, is why you're snapping at people. That's the subconscious reason that you're snapping at people. And I see that you're avoiding confrontation over a love situation, but it's making you really snappy. And I think it's because I don't even think this has to do really with the love connection. I see that you really just want to be able to be passionate on your own and be able to do your own thing without any of these connections dragging you in. And that's why you're ending your 40 line in the standing up for your valor and defending yourself. You're like, look, it has nothing to do with anything what anybody wants to make an argument about. You know, yeah, it's a love connection, but I can't even talk about it because people are going to go freaking insane. And, you know, there's no sense if I can't explain it to 3D people, then I'll just keep my passions to myself. I'll lock them up for now. Not sure how healthy that is. Like I said, that's what makes you really, really snippy at the people that are stuck with you in your 3D line because they don't understand. And you understand that they don't understand. But it still makes you better. It still plants that seed. It's deep shit, Libra. All right. I do see a leap of faith, but needing patience. 5D is telling you celebrations and victory are coming, right? An energy of being generous, giving and receiving. Like, see, he's even holding the Libra scales balanced. I see you really gaining a lot of victory over this. I see there's going to be a leap. You're going to balance out. Look, you even got the 2 cups pouring them back and forth there. Yeah, celebrations, victory. I do see you gaining a big victory over this, Libra. The 5D says, okay, yeah, are you taking the best strategies about it? No, but you are relieving a bunch of contracts and things of that nature. Okay? So just be mindful of your words. Don't let things, like if you're keeping the peace, actually keep the peace. Don't get bitter because you're deciding to keep the peace is the main message I'm getting for y'all. All right, Scorpio. Guilty regret. What? Lock myself into a shiny situation. Rebirth by spring. The guilty regret is number 5, right? And it's the last little of illumination of light on the moon before it goes into a full new moon effect, right? Spring equinox is that same moon phase, right? No, it's the opposite moon phase. It's the first little spring of light. So I see that you're getting ready to enter really a shadow phase right now, where you're going to be questioning the decisions that you've made over the last year into the situation that you've got yourself into and the cycles that you're in. And do you want to keep repeating these cycles? And do you keep just making them out of financial necessity? Right? I will say going through these phases is part of the rebirth process, but you have to go through the shadow phase. You have to go through the work. You have to ask yourself the hard questions. And you have to be able to ask yourself those questions without testing people around you. You asking yourself these questions has nothing to do with the people around you. You shouldn't be testing them. You shouldn't be testing people's loyalties. You should be questioning your own. Why do you feel this way? Why do you feel the need to test people? All right, Scorpio. I don't know what's going on with your gilded regret, though, but you have the 2 of Cups upright, the 3 of Cups celebration, the 7 of Cups working on your skills, building your energy, learning how to fill your own cup with love and abundance here. Ace of Cups being that love energy. You are quick thinking and perceptive with your words. You see clearly what you're doing and where you're going. On your 3D line, look straight. Your 4D line, I do see justice does need to be taken care of. There is an aspect in your mind, a perception that you need to change. I see that you are not wanting to really close the cycle. You may have appeared to close it on the bottom line, but in your mind, you ain't closed the cycle yet. You need to make that decision. You need to make the decision. It's up to you. Letting go of that connection is a defeat. Is it a defeat? Aren't you tired of being in the conflict? You know, I say that about the 5 of Sword card. Yeah, what? Only one person's defeated. Every conflict has a loser and a winner. And a loser has a lesson learned. So, you know, I really see that most of, if you feel defeated, is because you're not listening to your own intuition. You're refusing to close the cycle. You're feeding into it. You're allowing them to defeat you. Your 5D line. You got the 5 of Cups reversed. This is the universe just telling you over and over again, stop focusing on the past. Stop focusing on what you didn't get. Stop focusing on who didn't love you. Stop focusing on those things, right? Your intuition is telling you everything you know, right? Your passion is pointed in a very strong direction. But watch. You're going to keep snapping off, popping off, cutting people with your words if you're not following your passion, right? I see this is the Knight of Swords, man. He's very sharp, very cutty, especially reversed. This is like, this isn't even thinking before you speak. This is just out to hurt, right? Ace of Swords. Right? This is not in control of your air energy. Your elements are imbalanced. You need to get your air energy under control, Scorpio. You need to get the air energy under control, right? Even if you get your words under control, if you don't have your thoughts under your control, it doesn't matter what you're saying with your mouth, right? You can speak the spells all you want, but if you don't feel it, it don't matter, right? Words are spells. Be mindful where your words are, but words mean nothing if they're not in focus with your thoughts, right? All right. Sagittarius, right? Yeah. Oh, I feel you on this one. Sagittarius is my moon sign, right? Effortlessly addicted. What? Hard to break addictions. What? The more you think, I can't have a cigarette, the more you want a cigarette. The more you think, I can't have a drink, the more you want a drink. The more you think, I can't have this person, the more you want that person. What? How do I break these codependency addictions without putting in so much damn effort? Right? Because if I'm changing frequencies, it should be effortlessly, right? I should just be able to just wake up and go, you know what? I feel like it today. And then not think about it. But you got to do it without thinking. Don't think about it. It gets easier. It just takes practice, y'all. It just takes practice. And look, when I figure out a way to easily do this without having to work through it and fail a bunch of times, like breaking addictions is one of the hardest things that anybody's had to do. And that's been the main focus over the last 2 years, right? All kinds of addictions, codependency addictions, drug addictions, alcohol addictions. It has all come glaring out into the forefront, right? For everybody to see. Everybody's recognizing all these aspects within themselves, within others. And everybody's got something. As we talked about love languages in the little collective channel I did at the beginning of the video. People whose love language is sensual touch can end up having a sex addiction, things of that nature, you know? People whose love language is acts of service could end up being people pleasers. Mm-hmm. All right, Sagittarius. I got 9 of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles, King of Wands, 7 of Cups, Queen of Swords, 10 of Cups. So on your 3D line, I see plenty of abundance, really passionate masculine energy here. I do see a lot of options around you. I always say with 7 of Cups, I always say be mindful of what cups you drink out of. Be smart. Be mindful of your words. Be clear thinking. Be perceptive, most of all here. And 10 of Cups here at the end. Everything on your 3D line looks like it's happy home, happy life, you know, happy spouse, happy house, all that good stuff. Even though there's all these, a lot of opportunities and offers coming in around you. On your 4D line, though, I do feel like you've been a little bit disempowered. Because the only upright card is the 10 of Pentacles. You got the Prince of Wands reversed, the Magician reversed, the Hierophant reversed, and at the very end here, the Princess of Cups reversed. So it's like, I don't feel like I'm really following my passion. I don't feel like I'm manifesting my path. I don't feel like I have any time to really figure out who I am. I am in a very abundant area of my life. It's probably where the addiction card comes in. I have plenty of money to feed those things for me. So that puts out the 10 of Cups there, but over the 10 of Cups, but total disconnection from the 40. I said 40 is mostly that nature, earth energy. The earth has been in 40 the whole time. She's ascending to 5D, but she's been in 40 the whole time. And you're disconnected right now. All right. What is the 5D telling you? You've not really been working on your skills. You need to get yourself grounded and disciplined, right? You need to love what you do. Loving what you do is how you get back into a genuine 5D 10 of Pentacles. And once you're in those areas, messages of love and messages that you want to get out of love will start coming in and out, right? That's when your synchronicities will start coming back in. All right, Sagittarius, Capricorn. Don't blind yourself to the pain there, Capricorn. Listen to the synergy of what's going on around you. Follow the synchronicities. They're there. Ask for signs and you shall receive them. But blinding yourself from the pain and burying it in the back corners of your mind is not going to solve anything. Release the pain of the past. Look towards the future. Look for signs. Ask for them. Get out in nature and find them. Oh, man. Capricorn, we're just about done with your sign with the planets, though, aren't we? I'm ready. So my kids watch SpongeBob. That's what my kids did. My older nephews did. All right, do 3D, 4D, 5D. 3D is what is everybody's perception of what's going on, what it looks like is going on. Things on the 3D line, 3D perspective. Then we get the 4D line, what's everybody's actual thoughts and words and everything else about it. What does everybody actually feel about it? And the 5D line, what is the overall message from the 5D trying to tell us about everything going on the 4D and the 3D? All right. I see that you've been making some pretty big decisions, or they've been weighing heavily on your mind with the 8 of Swords here. I see the King of Swords. You are trying to take the most intellectual approach that you can about this, trying to really think clearly. But I see that you're having a problem thinking clearly because you were overindulging in some sort of area, whether it is a codependency on somebody else or a codependency on a substance. You're overindulging somewhere, and that is what is causing your conflicts here in the 3D line. '40 line, has everybody really seen about it? What is really going on here? I see that there's a rite of passage going on, an area where you really need to figure out what sticks you want to carry and what you don't want to carry anymore. What burdens are yours to carry? What can you actually fix? Honestly, the only thing that you can fix is within yourself. Think about how hard it is to fix you before you ask anybody else to change themselves. And before you put the burden of other people changing on you, right? I see that you're playing this dangerous game of I am going to lower my... See, I see this card, especially in this deck, when it's upright. I see moving on with the swiftness. I see I no longer return your shady energy. You're shooting rockets at me. I'm shooting rainbow light back at you. I no longer return that skanky energy because I do not put myself in that skanky energy anymore. Not moving on, still engaging with it, right? I do got... the Lover's card here. There is a strong connection going on the 40 line. But I do see that you do need to be independent, right? You need to be able to put your own stars in the sky. It's about following where your passions truly lie. Not focusing on, lowering. You're never going to achieve it if you lower your vibes for other people. She's on her own up there, right? Tiger by the tail, putting her own stars in the sky. You got to be able to release any connections. You can have this loving connection without lowering yourself to a lower vibration if that person is not vibing right now. And accepting that you can have these connections, and that doesn't necessarily mean it will lead into some sort of grand end all be all. The 5D does say too, stop being so defensive, right? The 5D is telling you, stop being so defensive. Like, that's how you're lowering your vibe. That's how you allow them to lower your vibes for you, right? That's where it is. But they can't lower your vibes unless you voluntarily decide to engage. Stop being so defensive. You will be amazed at the breakthrough in love and celebrations that come through at that point. The abundant messages will come in. The 1111 doorways will open. You will be back in your power. Right? Back in that nurturing energy. All right, Capricorn, who we got now? Aquarius. Ooh, man, I'm running low, guys. What am I? Ooh, 111. 111 for you, Aquarius. 111 for you. Let's see what it has to say for Aquarius. We got Black Flower Fragrance. Full moon completion. So you're definitely at the end of a major cycle here, but I see the Black Flower Fragrance as being like you're kind of projecting an energy that is making people kind of curl their nose at you. You do have a big completion of a cycle going on, probably a lot to do with this full moon that's coming up. So I will get the moon video up by Monday. All right, I read 3D, 4D, 5D. 3D, what is going on physically around what the 3D perspective of it, the 4D perspective of it, the 5D trying to tell us about all the different perspectives collapsing on top of each other, just like timelines. So much fun. We'll say you got 2 of Cups twice already, upright on the 5D line and on the 4D line. See what the 3D has to say about it. Looks pretty positive though, Aquarius. No stressing, no stressing. It's like when the doctor's telling you to wait for results of a scary test. Like, I want to know. Oh, Lord. I turned that deck around, so I'm going to flip these. All right, Aquarius. I see a lot of what's going on is you're actually moving out of conflict, right? Finding yourself grounding and discipline and controlling yourself to come out of this conflict. You took control of you, right? I do see a lot of reflection, a lot of reflection. Knight of Swords, and this is what taking time to do a lot of self-reflection, which is hard and can cause a lot of anxiety, right? Dangerous games being played, There are dangerous games being played. You have the Four of Swords here, right? Games that you're going to need recuperation from. But I see that it's kind of a reflection of this, and that might be why you're getting that black flowered fragrance thing going on, is that you are dealing with projecting and reflecting these similar energies that are being casted at you and trying to recognize where you're casting the energies and where they're casting the energies and where you're just reflecting the energies. All right. That's pretty heavy for the 3D line, but you guys don't ever make anything easy, do you? All right. On your 4D line, I do see the main focus coming in as a Two of Cups, love, connection, Prince of Cups, wanting to either send or receive messages. Four of Cups, I do see a diluting from this to not have to focus on this, overindulging to delude the 4D from bothering you anymore. And I think that kind of messes with your flow here with the Eight of Pentacles reversed, and then you've got the Eight of Swords. What? In overindulging, it makes you less productive, less abundant, and it makes you easier to be controlled. Now your 5D line looks really good. You got the Nine of Swords here in the middle, but it starts out with the strength, finding strength, manifesting your own world, right? Really magician creating. And I always say the magician is always a trickster too. So I feel a lot of the games might have been games you started and just didn't work out the way you thought they would. And I think it causes a lot of anxiety. I think you got a lot of grief for things that you've done in the past, with that Nine of Swords being the mirror card there at the bottom. And it has a lot to do with a Two of Cups connection. And I got the King of Wands here reversed. So it's kind of like your fire energy is being affected. Your fire energy is being affected. And I think it comes down to a lot of owning into when you were in your height of power. What did you manifest? What games were you playing? What were you toying with when that was all going on? You need to own it. Four Cups, Four Swords was on the bottom there. You're going to need to recuperate from owning it. All right. Take your time when you're doing these things. You don't need to own it right away and then run away and then whatever. Don't do that. All right. Own it. Process it. Take some time to recuperate on a 3D level. All right. And that's the only way I can see that you're going to turn this around, right? But that's why you are Black Flower Fragrance instead of King of Fire right now. Maybe you should be practicing on being the King of Swords right now, since that actually is your card, or the Queen of Swords there. All right. Whew. Pisces, my loves. Queen of my world. Are you shape-shifting right now? Yeah, have you been cocooning? Are you ready to make a shift? I hope so. Because that is actually how you really become queen of your world. It's not by playing the role of queen, but allowing yourself to shift and move to the dynamics of the energies that are going on in the world. Allow yourself to flow, you fish. Been doing a lot of fishing lately. And it does, I love fishing because there's so much you can put to it. It's like even with the golf, whatever's metaphors. I think fishing has so many metaphors too, right? You know, especially the different types of fishing. So like when you're freshwater fishing, you go looking for a fishing hole. You know, it's like, oh, you go where the water is calm. You go where the shade is. You go where this is. You go where that is. You know, when you're saltwater fishing, it's all about the tides. But some people think the incoming tide's the best tide. Some think the outgoing tide's the best tide. Some people like to cast near the shore. Some people like to cast way out into the sea. I don't know why I'm coming up with all these fish analogies. But, yeah. Everybody's got their own way of doing it, and you shouldn't be afraid to do things your own way as well. It's always about working out the strategies that work best for you, right? And that's the same thing with magic and superstitions and things like that, right? You know, my spells and the way that I do them work because I believe that they work by doing them that certain way. You know, I feel like the outgoing tide or the incoming tide is the best tide to go fishing in, you know. And because I believe that, that works for me. Ooh, there we go. There's the message in the fish. But if you realize that, what? Well, I read that the outgoing tide is the best tide for me, and I've been going in the outgoing tide, and I haven't been catching anything. So I decided to wait till the tide was done going out and wait for it to start coming back in. And when it started coming in, I realized that I caught more fish on the incoming tide. So the next time I went fishing, I went on the incoming tide and I caught more fish again. And I allowed my perspective on which tide was best to shift based on practical observation of my outside world. Love you, baby. Pisces, I say that you have made some rough decisions here over the past, right? You've made it to get into Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. Beautiful, beautiful energy for you guys. King of Cups, really in control of my cup. But I'm in control of my cup, and I am putting out my passion. And in putting out my passion, I actually, when you're in that really passionate energy, it's a fiery energy, right? You put out a lot of light, and it does attract a lot of attention to you. But I do see, yeah, just a lot of lust for adventure coming into play with you. But I got control of my cup. I got control of my emotions. I'm ready for some adventure. All right, so on your 4D line, though, I do see you got the star reversed, right? So you've lost a lot of hope here. But I see that you're coming out of the mental prison of the Nine of Swords. Good Lord. Oh, Jesus, it's freaking Luna. All right, I'm sorry, y'all. It's just one of my spazzy Libra friends just messaging me a whole bunch of conversations and individual texts. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't an emergency. All right, so I see you coming out of this mental conflict, right? I see, this is why, victory. I do see you getting a lot of victory over yourself here. Beautiful. Following where the universe is pulling you here with the Chariot and the Princess of Swords. What? Just curious, energetic, ready to discover things, butterfly transformation there. You know, just be mindful. Just be mindful of your words because it is still a young card with the swords there. So just be mindful of where your thoughts and your words take you. But in general, so you're on an awesome path right now. I see the 5D is telling, you know, the message for these is it's really getting into the hermit mode is necessary for you to figure out your own shadow aspects. And if you want to be a light to others, you need to learn how to keep your own light lit. And I think you learn that lesson by cutting codependent cords, not just with people who are codependent on you, but you really searched within your heart and found out where you were codependent on other people. And you really found a way to balance out those kind of cords, right? I see the Page of Swords here in the middle, though. So this is more that curious, energetic energy, right? Wanting to really get out there and discover some things. I feel like there's really a search for discovering things because you do feel kind of out of your power, which is weird because you have such all those beautiful cards in the 3D. So that's really, you're projecting that on the 3D, but deep down you feel like you're kind of out of your power. You got to let this cycle complete. I think a lot of it is in recognizing where you're codependent. It's like you kind of beat yourself up a bit too much about that. Let the cycle end. Let the cycle end. Allow yourself to shift. Allow yourself. You are the queen of your world, right? You are the queen of your world. How you feel on the inside is going to have to match how you feel on the outside. You can't project a happy, abundant, I'm lovey-dovey energy, I've got great Reiki energy, and then you don't really have any of that great energy going on, right? It's got to match. It's got to go all the way down. You can't feel like this inside and hope to manifest on all levels, right? Allow yourself to shift. You don't have to be who you were in the past. Nobody says anything that you decide today means that you have to be that way forever. You are allowed to shift. You are the queen of your world. Alrighty. Or king, depending on who you are. All right, loves. For real, that is all the time that I have for today. This has been an hour and a half. I love you guys so much. Blessed be all those who walk these weird and windy paths with me. As always, like, share, subscribe, click my buttons, y'all. Tell me that you like it. Help me out. Comment. I love the comments. Yeah. And I'll try to have that moon video up this weekend. And that's probably all I'm going to have on the channel. I'm going to be working on a lot of stuff. Be some surprises coming. I love you guys. Talk to you later.